Association, back with another Emerging Tech Pulse. It's been a few weeks since we've been able to do one. The last one I did was actually overseas, so recorded whilst on the Asian travels that Arturo and I went on, so there's a lot to cover. First up, over the last couple of weeks, you would have seen that we had some major announcements coming out of Hong Kong, where we were able to open up an office over there for not centralized. So that was some great news. We've got new partners over there that we're working with, and there's a whole lot more in terms of focus around the APAC region. Not long after that, we were over to Token 2049 in Singapore, and there was a lot of Aussies that we met over there. We saw some great booths for the folks at Fireblocks, Hedera, BitGet, and many others. So it was really great to see a lot of the Aussies over there in Singapore, living it up and, getting out to all the different meetings and all the different events that were there. There was a whole lot of great talks. We saw folks from all over the world come across, and there's some really great write-ups, such as this one here from Bullish. And then also in the news, I was able to get over to Philippines for the Philippine Blockchain Week over in Manila. That was great because we saw some other Aussies there like Karen Cohen, Natalia Ilyashina, and Penny Wong. They were over there talking and giving their perspectives on AI and blockchain. You can see a write-up that I had here, which is all about the different things that we need to do, because in Asia there is a lot that's going on because of where they're situated, the competition that's going on there. They've had to do a whole lot more in terms of investment into the space. And it's really interesting. There's a lot of takeaways and lessons. Now, we'll cover a lot of this in the upcoming Aus DeFi Association event in Sydney. That's on the 18th of October, and it's part of South by Southwest. So have a look at that. Here's the link below. Also making the news last week, we saw this great article from Forbes that was done by Jody, and she interviewed both myself and Ben Simpson of Collective Shift. So you can see our perspectives there on DeFi and what needs to be happening in terms of making changes there. There's a really interesting kind of insight into, just, at least from my perspective, how we need to be pragmatic when it comes to going decentralized, because there are certain things that have been centralized to actually make either life more convenient or easy, or they've been done out of necessity. Now, it's not to say that DeFi isn't a goal that we should aim for. It certainly is, but we need to be very pragmatic and smart in terms of how we go about doing that. It's things to consider from a customer perspective and the convenience that customers want, but it's also in terms of things like the UX, because we talk about, we need better design for these apps, but UX also needs to be in terms of how these apps actually come together, because it's not just about having a great single app that people use and then all of a sudden they have 20 different apps that they have in their phone. But when you look at traditional banking and financial services, just how they string together a number of these different apps. And that's what we saw overseas in, say, the Philippines, where they've got things like Gcash and PayMaya, where these are services that have all of these different bundles of services together. That's actually UX kind of stuff as well. So that's worth thinking about. It's not just about having single apps that you're taking up screen real estate either on the phone or the desktop, but how do you integrate and collaborate and actually make life easier for the end user? So that is a pathway there. Another pathway to consider is, how do you actually integrate with existing rails? Because the thing is, like, as much as you want to be taking people away from the banks or like the different existing institutions, the best answer may actually be in terms of integration there. You might be very competitive in terms of what you offer, but if you're not compelling enough, then you're not going to actually have people move across. So there's certainly some questions to consider. There's no right answer. It's all contextual, obviously. And it's something to figure out, but this space definitely needs to take a good hard look at how we do things, and are we actually overcoming the hurdles that are out there and making life a lot easier. So, worth a look at what we wrote up for Philippine Blockchain Week. This Forbes article as well, Ben has some great points there too. and just a whole lot more. It's time to get really serious when it comes to blockchain infrastructure, technology, DeFi, NFTs, Web3, all of that kind of stuff. Also, it was great to see the team at Novati, and you can see MJ here and Effie. They were over in Meridian, over at, I think it was in Spain. So they were there for the Meridian event. We saw them at Token 2049. As I said, there were a lot of Aussies floating around, and it was really great to see the Aussie delegation really show up for these overseas events. And these guys continue just as we did, just over in Southeast Asia, and they went to Spain. So really great to see. And yeah, a whole lot more travels, and there's a whole lot more events coming up soon as well. Next, we head over to AI Chronicles, and this is part of the DSAI community. First up, it's great to see one of our directors, Michael Wang, being recognized as one of the top voices when it comes to data science and AI. So congratulations to Michael. If you missed it last week, you would have seen some really great insights from OpenAI. They've got their new Vision product, which is being rolled out slowly, but will be widely available. As you can see here, they're doing things like taking pictures of an object like a bike and asking questions. So getting GPT and its multimodal function to actually recognize the pieces and componentry of a bike, and being able to ask questions about how to do things has been amazing. We've seen people do things with things like schematics and drawings, or even like creating a drawing of what they want their website to look like, and then asking ChatGPT to actually create the code for it, and then running it and having it work. It's nuts, it's crazy, it's the future, it's here right now. So definitely check out Vision. Another thing to check out as part of those updates is what's going on with DALL-E 3. It's now widely available via Bing. There are a number of ways that you need to maybe change your cache settings or use different browsers to get to it. But if you're lucky enough to get it on the first try, well done. But it basically is a high-level version of Midjourney. So if you went from DALL-E 2 and thought, yeah, this is okay, Midjourney actually does a lot better, DALL-E 3 will blow your mind, because you can do things in there such as giving multiple areas of the image in terms of what you want to see. So we've seen some really complex descriptions being rolled out and actually come to fruition with the image. Or you can put in lettering and words in there. So if you wanted to have something that says NC on the shirt of, say, "Where's Wally?" you can actually do that. And I've tested that out. I'll show that on my Twitter or something like that later on, or on the Not Centralized Twitter, so check that out. But yeah, it's pretty amazing what DALL-E 3 can do, and still we are just scratching the surface with all of this kind of stuff. But having that roll out as part of ChatGPT, so with Vision and the new DALL-E 3 features, it's going to be really crazy about what we can do with all of this tech and how it's going to transform business. Finally, one of the other great updates to see was that Matt Wolf was going through what Meta's got with their combination with Ray-Ban, where you've got these Meta virtual, well, actually it's more augmented reality sunglasses, so where you can record your settings. You can actually, there'll be ways that you can see things through the sunglasses, I believe. It's going to be amazing, the type of wearable devices that are out there that are much more in line with how we see things. I remember when Google Glass came out many years ago, there was a lot of backlash on that. People getting maybe even the glasses taken off them, or even beat up because they were wearing these devices. There was less acceptance. But with the Ray-Ban combo, it seems like it's going to be something that is a bit more accepted, though I do wonder if people are going to push back when they see that someone is wearing one of these devices because they don't want to be recorded. Although I don't know how that will actually work, because we are in the age of TikTok, we're in the age of social media far more than where we were when Google Glass came out. And it's much more common to see people actually walking around and recording things. So who knows, we'll see. It looks like it's a lot easier, especially if you're a content creator, to just put these glasses on and to have the things that you see with your eyes actually being recorded to a screen. So we'll see what happens there, but who knows. Okay folks, that's it. That's your AI and Web3 news for the week. This is another Emerging Tech Pulse update, and we'll see you next week for the latest and greatest of what's happening then. It's going to be a whirlwind, I am sure.